Great news this past week. The legislator in our great state of Maine, despite being advised by the Supreme Court, not in a binding opinion, but an advisory opinion, that they should not proceed with ranked choice voting, actually failed to repeal the law. Sounds convoluted, but here's the backstory. Last November, there was a referendum in Maine asking to reform the way people vote to allow them to avoid this whole lesser of two evils. Either you're for Hillary or you're for Donald Trump, but you can't be for anybody else, which is a horrendous way to vote, and it doesn't actually reflect what people want. It creates 1,000 negative incentives, which create candidates like Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. The people in Maine understood this, and so they asked for a reform for what's called ranked choice voting, which basically allows you to pick 1 through 5, whatever candidate you would want, and if your number 1 doesn't win, then your vote automatically goes to your number 2 or your number 3, as opposed to going from 1 to your number 5. Right now, basically, you can either choose the person, well, we all know, let's not even get into right now. And so the reform in Maine was then deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in Maine for the state constitution of Maine, but parts of it were not unconstitutional. Bottom line, the legislator in Maine was unable to repeal the law. The people's will prevails, and a model for voting reform across the country is now going to be implemented, at least on some level, in Maine in the form of ranked choice voting. And that is a very good piece of information for democracy.